If your life today is not where you want it to be, maybe you don't need to change your life first. Maybe you need to change yourself. Your past is not your punishment. Your mistakes are not your identity. But there is one decision you have to make today. Will you continue living with excuses, fear, and regret, or will you choose discipline, consistency, and the courage to rebuild your life? Because the life you've been dreaming about does not begin tomorrow. It begins with one decision today. Maybe you've made mistakes. Maybe you've wasted time. Maybe you've watched opportunities pass you by while you kept telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And before you realize it, months become years, and years become a life you never intended to live. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Wake up. Your life is still in your hands. You cannot change yesterday, but you can decide what happens next. The past may explain where you are, but it does not have to determine where you are going. Every morning gives you another chance, another opportunity to think differently, act differently, and become different. The question is not whether you have failed. Everyone fails. The real question is whether you are willing to learn from failure and keep moving. Too many people spend their lives looking backward. If they replay old mistakes, they remember missed opportunities. They think about what they should have done, what they could have said, or where they went wrong. But the past cannot be rewritten. You can only learn from it. So take the lesson, accept the responsibility, and leave the regret behind. You do not need a perfect past to create a powerful future. You need a new decision. A decision to stop blaming. A decision to stop making excuses. A decision to stop waiting for life to become easier. Because life will never stop presenting challenges. There will always be setbacks. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be days when you feel tired, disappointed, or afraid. You cannot control. You can decorate every room. But if the foundation is weak, the entire structure remains vulnerable. Your life works the same way. Your mindset, your character, your values, and your habits are the foundation. If you want a stronger life, start by building a stronger foundation. Stop asking, why is my life so difficult? Start asking, what can I become because of these difficulties? Stop asking, why don't I have more? Start asking, what can I improve? Stop waiting for circumstances to change. Change the person facing those circumstances. It is built by thousands of small decisions repeated every day. One workout, one book, one healthy meal, 1 hour of focused work, one promise kept, one distraction ignored, one excuse rejected. These things may look insignificant in the moment, but they are building your future. Think about a drop of water. One drop seems powerless, but thousands of drops, falling consistently, can carve through stone. Your habits work the same way. Small actions repeated consistently create extraordinary results. This is why discipline matters. Motivation feels good. Discipline is different. Discipline says, I will do what needs to be done, even when I don't feel like doing it. That is how confidence is built. Not by thinking about becoming better, but by proving to yourself, again and again, that you can keep your promises. Every time you say you will do something and actually do it, you strengthen your trust in yourself. Every time you make an excuse and break your own promise, you weaken it. So start small. Do not try to transform your entire life overnight. Choose one habit, wake up at a consistent time, read 10 pages a day, exercise for 20 or 30 minutes, spend less time scrolling, write down your goals, plan your day before it begins. Keep one promise to yourself. Small habits become routines. Routines become character. And character eventually shapes your destiny. You become what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly choose comfort, comfort becomes your lifestyle. If you repeatedly choose excuses, excuses become your identity. But if you repeatedly choose discipline, discipline becomes part of who you are. And once discipline becomes part of who you are, you no longer have to constantly fight yourself to do the right thing. It becomes normal. This is where real transformation begins. Not with a dramatic moment, but with ordinary decisions made consistently when nobody is watching. Most people want the result, but they don't want the repetition required to earn it. Normal. They want confidence without discomfort, success without sacrifice, strength without struggle. But nothing meaningful is built that way. You cannot become stronger without being challenged. You cannot become disciplined without having something you would rather avoid. You cannot build confidence without doing things that initially make you uncomfortable. Growth requires resistance. A tree does not become strong because the weather is always calm. It becomes strong because it learns to stand through storms. Your challenges can do the same for you. They can break you or they can build you. The choice is often in how you respond. So stop wishing for an easier life. Start building a stronger version of yourself. You don't need fewer challenges, you need more courage. You don't need more excuses, you need more discipline. You don't need another year to begin. You need today. And today does not have to be perfect. You just need to take the next step. One of the biggest reasons people remain stuck is because they confuse planning with progress. They think about changing. They watch motivational videos. They make lists. They imagine a better future. But thinking about action is not action. Planning is useful, but eventually you have to move. You have to start before you feel ready. You have to take imperfect action. You have to accept that your first month of discipline may be messy. That is okay. Progress does not require perfection. It requires persistence. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. But never give yourself permission to quit, simply because progress is slow. Remember, a seed grows underground long before anyone sees the tree. There may be seasons in your life when you feel like nothing is happening. You are working, learning, exercising, saving, improving, and still wondering when the results will appear. Trust the process. Not every improvement is visible immediately. Some of the most important changes happen inside you first. You become more patient, more focused, more capable of controlling your emotions. And one day, those internal changes begin producing external results. People may look at you and say, "You've changed so much." They may think it happened suddenly, but you will know the truth. It happened through hundreds of small decisions nobody noticed. The mornings when you got up even though you were tired, the nights when you chose work over distraction, the moments when you wanted to quit but took one more step. That is how a life is rebuilt, brick by brick, habit by habit, day by day.
Another important decision is to take full responsibility for your life.
This does not mean everything that happened to you was your fault. Life can be unfair. People can disappoint you. Circumstances can be difficult. You may have experienced things you never deserved, but responsibility means deciding that your future will not be controlled by those circumstances. You may not control where you started, but you can influence where you go from here. You may not control what someone did to you, but you can control what you do next. You may not control the past, but you can control today's choices. That mindset changes everything. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for someone else to change. You stop blaming circumstances for every result. You start looking for what you can control. Your time, your effort, your attitude, your habits, your focus, your choices. These are powerful things. And when you control them consistently, your life begins to move in a new direction. You also need goals. Without direction, even hard work can become wasted effort. Imagine a ship in the middle of the ocean with no destination. It can move for thousands of miles and still end up nowhere meaningful. Your life can work the same way. Being busy is not the same as making progress. Ask yourself, what am I actually trying to build? What kind of person do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to live? What skills do you want to develop? What relationships do you want to strengthen? What contribution do you want to make? Your goals should give your effort direction. But don't only focus on distant results. Build daily actions that move you toward them. If your goal is to become healthier, focus on today's workout and today's food choices. If your goal is to become financially stronger, focus on today's spending and today's work. If your goal is to become more knowledgeable, read and learn today. Your future is created through what you repeatedly do in the present. Protect your time. Time is one of the only things you can never get back. Money can be earned again. Opportunities can return, but yesterday will never return. Every person receives the same 24 hours, but not everyone uses them the same way. Some invest their time, some spend it, some waste it. And then years later,
They wonder where their life went. Be intentional with your attention.
not everything deserves your time. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every notification deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves a response. If you want to build something meaningful, you must learn to say no to things that constantly pull you away from what matters. Focus is a form of discipline. Protect it. Your environment matters too. The people around you influence your thinking, your standards, and your behavior. Spend more time around people who encourage growth, responsibility, learning, and ambition. Reduce the influence of people who constantly pull you toward negativity, excuses, and distraction. You don't have to hate anyone, you simply have to protect the direction of your life. And remember, becoming better does not mean becoming perfect. You will still have bad days, you will still make mistakes, you will still lose focus sometimes. The goal is not to never fall. The goal is to get back up faster. If you miss one workout, don't miss the next one. If you waste one day, don't waste the week. If you make a mistake, learn from it and continue. Never allow one bad moment to become an excuse for another bad month. Your comeback can begin immediately. Right now. Not Monday. Not next month. Not next year. Right now. You can put the phone down. You can make the plan. You can take the walk. You can open the book. You can begin the work. You can make the call. You can apologize. You can forgive yourself. You can choose differently. One decision can change the direction of your life, and then another decision reinforces it. Then another. Eventually those decisions become a new lifestyle, a new identity, a new future. Your best days do not have to be behind you. They can still be ahead of you, but they require your participation. Nobody can build your future for you. Nobody can develop your discipline for you. Nobody can take your goals and turn them into reality for you. You have to do the work, and that is not bad news. That is freedom, because it means you have power. You can begin with what you have. You can start from where you are. You don't need perfect circumstances. You need commitment. So wake up. Leave the past where it belongs. Learn from it, but don't live inside it. Take responsibility for your present. Build your habits. Set meaningful goals. Do the work when nobody is watching. Stay consistent when motivation disappears. And keep moving when progress feels slow. One day, you will look back and realize that your life did not change because of one magical moment. It changed because you finally decided to stop waiting. You decided to become responsible for your future. You decided that excuses would no longer control you. You decided that discipline would become part of your life. You decided to become someone you could be proud of. And that decision became the beginning of everything. So if you have been waiting for a sign, let this be your sign. Start today. Start small. Start imperfectly, but start. Because your future self is depending on the choices you make right now. Your past may be written, but your next chapter is still blank, and the pen is in your hands. Wake up. Stand up. Take responsibility. Build yourself. Build your habits. Build your future. One choice at a time. One disciplined day at a time. And never forget, the life you've been dreaming about is waiting for the person you are becoming.